All right, hey. Okay, I think it's connected now. Good, good, good. Okay, so yeah, as soon as my dude gets home, he had a very small bid to do at 9, so he should be home fairly shortly. He'll probably change a shirt, and then we're going to be off to Balboa Park because my free IMAX tickets are expiring today, so we need to use them. And if you don't know, IMAX is like this. It's a really old theater. Cosmic Creeper! Oh my gosh! What up? But it's this really old theater. The seats are kind of tilted back so that you're like looking up, and there there's like wooden seats, and there's like a little holder for your head. And it's a dome shaped theater. New Age Lunatic, what's up? I'm just talking about the IMAX theater. And anyway, so it's like this dome, and the picture is like the entire dome. So it's more like nature movies that you would watch. So it's like you're flying around in the nature movie, or like you're in the ocean. Like it's really cool, and it's in our science center, the Reuben H. Fleet Science Center, because it's all about science. So we're going to be watching about the Hubble telescope, because I figured like an outer space one would be really rocking. And so we're going to watch that probably at like noon today, but we have to get down to Balboa Park. All right, Cosmic Creeper said, I'm actually indoors for a live finally. Well, welcome. um, so yeah, like I said, so it's actually going to be short because my dude has to come and grab me. Oh, and if you hadn't noticed, I'm actually wearing makeup today. I don't know if I did a good job. I'm still practicing. And I feel like such a lame-o because I'm almost 40 and I don't know how to put makeup on. Sherry Bug, what's up? Um, so yeah, I've been watching some YouTube tutorials on like makeup. And then my makeup brushes were all dirty, and I was like, oh, so I just now use shampoo to like clean them and like lay them flat. I hope that's how you clean makeup brushes. Um, so yeah, I got my whatever the sample lipstick they gave me, which was this red stuff. Cosmic Creeper said not lame at all, totally rocking it. And it's hard to put on eye makeup because I don't have like eyelids really. Sherrybug had to YouTube learn as well. Hey man, YouTube is an excellent source. Like I don't just come on here for videos. I am so addicted to YouTube, like how to everything. I like just learning everything. How to make a mala bracelet, like how to make your roses not die, how to put on makeup, how to tie your shoes in really unusual ways. Like like I'm always searching like interesting stuff. But yeah, I think it's some of my whatever my because all the Filipinos in my family, we don't have the eyelid. Like I have like no eyelid really, you know. And so if I put on eye makeup like and my eyes are open, nobody can see, but if I close my eyes, you can tell I have eye makeup on. Sherry Bug said she changed her my truck brakes from you. So figuring all that stuff out, vehicle stuff. You know, well, because there's a car I'm getting this summer that I have literally saved up for like 6 years for. And so I watch all these YouTube videos on like remembering how to drive a manual transmission because I haven't driven a manual probably since I was a teenager. And I can ride dirt bikes, and you know, dirt bikes obviously you have to shift. Like I know how to ride a dirt bike. I just haven't driven a manual car in quite some time, and the car I'm getting is a manual. Like it that doesn't come in any other thing than a manual. So I'm like, okay, gotta relearn how to drive a manual. YouTube, hello. Cosmic Creepers said YouTube is how I learned to top up my new boiler. YouTube rules for how to's. Yes, faux show. Okay. Sherry Box said should be fun. See, the car I'm getting, and I'm going to be relearning how to drive stick in, has 650 horsepower. So we're going to be in a big parking lot. And my boyfriend, who's driven nothing but stick all his life, he's like, okay, I could probably, he says, I could teach you how to drive stick in like a day. Like in a day, you'll be fine. And then after that, as you just drive, and practice, like you'll just get better. He says, but like, I can have you driving stick by the end of the day, like no problem. And he said, but we're gonna need a big parking lot, like a big parking lot. Like no way will you be able to crash this vehicle because it's got a lot of power. And I'm like, right, yes, let's do this. um, so yeah, okay, so a lot has happened this week. I am feeling better. Those of you that have been asking, thank you so much. And it, as a lot of you know, a good friend of mine, somebody that I worked with, a fellow coach, passed away this past Sunday. And I'm feeling a lot better about it. Not better that he passed away, but like I'm not bawling my eyes out right now. We had a memorial mile for him yesterday. I'm going to be going to his funeral service, which is next Friday. Jessie is here. What's up, Jess? Um, Sherrybug said, find a factory that is closed on a weekday. Oh, yes, definitely. So I don't like crash anywhere. Yeah, so the Memorial Mile was pretty cool. Just see, it has been so long. Oh my gosh. um, yeah, so like, Monday I had found out that my friend passed away in a motorcycle accident. And he was like really young. He was, I think, like 47 or 48, like totally in shape, really nice guy. We like kind of connected over cars and like, nerdy stuff. He was like Mr. Star Wars and I miss Star Trek. And so, like really cool dude. And so it was like a really big shock to us. And this was like, I learned about it 5 hours after learning about our head coach having, like, his wife had just had a baby. And so, like, his baby boy was born on Wednesday. Our coach, fellow friend, our friend, fellow coach, died on Sunday. So yesterday was really awesome, and I had been having like some anxiety like all day. I was like, I don't want to go to the Memorial Mile. Like, I don't want to go. Like, I don't want to go. Christina, what's up? Yay, all the homies are here. um, and I don't know. I was like doing stuff all day, and I was just like having this like, I don't want to go. I don't want to be there. And then I'm like, okay, why don't I want to go? And I'm like, because I don't want to feel all the feels. Like, I don't want to. And I was like, I know I have to go. Like, there's no way you're not going. So I went, and I'm so glad that I went to the Memorial Mile. Um, our friend's mother was there, and I'd never met his mom before. So she was there with some, family. We found out that Carter was her only son, and she said a few words about him. I went over to go talk to him. Stephanie, hey! um, so, I told the mom, how awesome her son was, and that I was like so, you know, happy to have worked with him and to have called him a friend. And so, got a nice big warm hug from his mom. She's an awesome lady. There was so many people there, and we all wore, a certain color, like just for him. And we all either walked or jogged on the track. The principal of the school was there, a couple of the VPs, like the principal's secretary, former principal's secretary, um, tons of like coaches in the district, tons of like kids that are alumni. Well, I guess they're not kids anymore. Alumni, athletes. There was, family, friends. There was a lot of people, and and so the mom started us off like, on your mark, get set, go. And we all like walked or jogged the track, and then after that, we all just kind of hung out. There were all these pictures of him, like from high school all the way up into coaching and stuff, and his assistant coach, where that's like his sidekick. She was with him like in cross country. She was with him like in track, and that used to be his former athlete. And so, he'd become really good friends with the family. And so she's putting on a memorial 5K for him. later on, but she's like collecting pictures and everything to put on her Facebook page. And we all got to sign these like giant poster board things of like your favorite quote of his, like one word to describe him, your message to him. Uh, and since like the last thing he and I were talking about was the Hellcat, you know, because my boyfriend and his friends had all gone in on like this Hellcat, which is like a really, really souped up Dodge Challenger. It's got 707 horsepower. And so like he was like, oh my God, that's so cool. You know, and he was talking about his souped up Challenger and how he had all these like, you know, big boy toys, you know, like motorcycles and fast cars and you know, and then actual like toys that you would get at Toys R Us, like Nerf guns and stuff like that. And you know, and I was like, you know, I'm a big kid too, so it was so cool. And so anyway, in my message to him, because I'm pretty sure they're gonna be burying him with those messages. It was like, hey, your spirit is welcome in the Hellcat anytime, bro. Like, you know, and because this summer he wanted to see our Hellcat, and I was like, heck yeah, like we'll all meet up at the school. Okay, not the school. There's too many speed bumps, and these cars are way too low. Okay, we'll meet up in a parking lot with no speed bumps, and we'll like check out each other's cars. So, yeah. Let's see. Oh, Green Owl is here. Yay! Yes, Green Owl, I'm feeling lots better. I think because I got to go to that memorial thing yesterday. It wasn't his funeral, that's next week, but you know, just talking to people and hanging out with the other coaches and I think like jogging and just like not standing around like being depressed, but like jogging and hearing the kids laughing and like, you know, and kids being like dumb kids that they are listening to their weird conversations, like it was really helpful yesterday. So I'm feeling like a lot better. So yeah. Okay, Sherry Bug said she just bought a giant bottle of bubbles yesterday. You know what I need to do? Which I literally wrote, like if I take you guys downstairs, I literally wrote it on my fridge that I need to buy. I'm out of bubbles for the bathroom, like for the bathtub. I was like, that cheap bottle of Hello Kitty bubbles, which I'm like, Hello Kitty, you cannot just put your name on anything. But anyway, those Hello Kitty bubbles were not very bubbly. I was like, I'm going back to Mr. Bubble. I'm sorry, Hello Kitty, but Mr. Bubble has it going on. You and I are homies. I buy all your other stuff, but bubbles I can't do. Christina said Mr. Bubble is good. Oh, yes. I'm going back to Mr. Bubble. Because I just had a bubble bath the other day and I forgot how much fun bubble baths are. And I did make the bubble beard and I was all alone in the house with my bubble beard and I was like, doo, 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 and I was like trying to. Sherbek said, oh, these are to blow. Oh, yeah, I figured you were talking about the blowing ones. And we have like catnip bubbles, and our old cat used to love the catnip bubbles. and um, and we try to use them on Wally. Wally does not like the catnip bubbles, so there I am, standing in the kitchen every once in a while, blowing bubbles all by myself. I'm like, Wally, you need to get in on this. I'm like, I love bubbles. Bubbles are so happy, whether they're in the bathtub or you're blowing them in a little, you know, the little wand thing. Like those are fun. And actually, if you go to uh, well, one of the beaches by us, Mission Beach, there's usually a bubble dude that's there on the weekends. He has like, you know, the sticks and the string, you know, that he's on his way. And so, yeah, so he should be here in about 20 minutes or so. Okay, so Jesse said salt bass. I have them quite often. Oh yes, salt bass are nice. But yeah, this dude at the beach, he's got like the big bubbles with the bucket and you know, and he has the sticks and he just and these like massive bubbles go by. And everybody like stands around taking pictures and filming. And my dude and I were walking by and like the bubble was coming towards us and it had already passed the crowd. And I was like, and I like popped it and everybody booed us. I was like, what? It was a bubble. I have to pop it. But yeah, so we're always having, you know, fun. There's always some interesting stuff going on down at the beach. Some interesting folks and like the people that play like the drums, but on like buckets, you know, for cash. There's like the guy dressed as like a statue or a robot. You're just like, so there's, you know, that guy at the beach. There's people, a lot of people playing guitars, people painting stuff. Jujubee, what's up? um, so yes, there's oh, I just saw a Sherry Bug said our German Shepherd chases the bubbles. I wish Wally would chase the bubbles. Don't leave me hanging in the kitchen blowing bubbles up on myself. um, so yeah, so I am feeling loads better. I do feel like I truly did get to connect to my friend's spirit, like he was coming by and say bye, say goodbye. And actually, you know, I felt his spirit like yesterday when I got home after the mile, but just like for a few minutes. And I saw well, I didn't see, but like I felt his spirit like for like Monday, Tuesday, the 2 days after he had passed away. I, you know, so it was nice to kind of like feel him around and then be like, all right, bro, like, you know, you're invited at my house anytime. You know, you're invited like anywhere I go. Like you don't have to leave. You're invited everywhere. You know, your spirit's always welcome. um Sherry Bug said, OMG, bubbles are made to pop, and the people that booed are taking pics instead of having fun and playing with the bubbles. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you're standing around like capturing moments that other people are having that are fun. I'm like, Jujubee said nothing much, just saying hi before she has to go to work and adulting. Yes. Every once in a while we have to adult. um, so yes, let's see. Speaking of kid stuff, on Monday, I think I have it scheduled for Monday. I have a video that's scheduled for Monday. I went to the Goodwill mostly because I was looking for a new food dish for Wally. But I picked up a few other things. Some of those were gifts, like, of course. But I picked up this, and it's totally like a little kid thing, but I like it. Stephanie said her sister and nephew passed away last month. Oh, in a car accident, and it was hard to accept, but I think they linger in my house. My doggy barks a lot around me, and I can just feel them a lot all the time. Well, I am sorry, Stephanie, for your loss, but it's, you know, it is comforting. I mean, I mean, I don't stop being sad, you know, about it. I just have varying levels of how I show it. Um, but I feel better knowing when I can feel like they're around. And this month especially has been kind of a little sad because this is the month that, you know, I lost my grandmother, you know, but that was back in like 96. This was the month that I lost my aunt. Yesterday would have been her 2-year anniversary of her passing. You know, our cat, our old cat, the 4-year anniversary of his passing was on Thursday. And then, you know, my friend passed away on Sunday. And so I had made a list the other day of like all the people I have lost that were close to me, and it was like 30 people. I didn't know I've lost, like, over my 37 years of living, I've lost 30 friends and family members. Like my first friend that I ever lost was back when we were 13. And then, you know, I've lost a couple of cousins, I've lost all my grandparents, you know, some uncles, some aunts, friends of the family that were like my aunts and uncles. In fact, we call them, you know, tia, tio, you know, our aunts and uncles. You know, people that, there was a girl that I ran track with who passed away of cancer at the age of 22 when, you know, when we were in college. And so there was a lot. So what I decided to do was to be a little more proactive instead of me sitting around with that list of names and just being like, holy shit, I've lost a lot of people, and kind of wallowing in my sorrows, which sometimes I am apt to do. And Jessie has lost her younger brother. Yeah, so what I had done on Instagram was to put out like a, let's just like, I know it's not like, you know, like what better time than the present to just honor people that we've lost, like to just speak their names. You know, if you ever watched that movie Coco, where, you know, you speak the names of the dead, it keeps them alive. And actually, I truly believe that. And so the, you know, ancient Egyptians and like a lot of cultures believe, you know, speak the names of the dead and it keeps them, keeps their spirits alive. And so my whole altar up here is like dedicated to all the people that I've lost. So I have like roses from my garden. I have some particular stones up there. Actually, I'll show you guys a little bit. A lot of protective energy up there. Um, and I just decided to speak all their names, you know, and I decided to play some really happy music, so I didn't, like, I wasn't sad at all. And it was just like, hey, like, let's have a dance party. So I just had some happy music. I was like, your spirits are like welcome, like my old dog, my old cat, my uncle's dog that, you know, I spent every summer with, like my uncles, my aunts, my friends. I was like, let's have a dance party. So I was literally like a crazy person dancing in this room all by myself, you know, with music playing, and I could just feel like love, you know, so much love, and it made me feel good. And so I decided on Instagram to post a picture of my altar and be like, hey, if you've had anyone, any fur baby, any person who's passed away, just speak their name today, and just know that the moment you speak their name, they're with you. And so I thought that that would just be more like my way of, well, that's my personal way of dealing with grief, is just to kind of have fun with their spirit instead of thinking of the day I found out they passed away, or I've been with people holding their hand at the time of their passing. And instead of focusing on that, which I wouldn't want somebody to focus on me, like when I die, I don't want somebody remembering the moment I died. Like, that's depressing. And that's not how I want to be remembered. I want to be remembered as being like a goofball, like the weird girl that dances when there's no music playing. I want to be remembered as the girl that sings loudly in the shower to, you know, poor Wally can't stand it, but you know, you know, there are so many other things that I would want to be remembered by, and like that's how I want to be remembered. Like, I don't want people to see me, you know, on my deathbed. So I decided that that's, even though I can't get certain images out of my head, you know, that they were quite scarring, I was like, you know, to honor them, then that's not what I'm going to focus on. You know, I'm not going to focus on that last time I saw them. I was like, you know, what are some fun memories? And I feel better, and I feel like they feel better with me thinking that way. So I don't know. That's been some stuff I'm working through this week. And so I've been doing a lot of like working with my friends and family and making sure I talk to them and just kind of letting them know, hey, I know you guys are always around, but like I'm just updating you. Like, this is stuff I'm doing right now. And if I talk to them, you know, like they never left, then I mean, I'm not pretending they never left. I know they're gone, but just like inviting them in and being like, hey, you know, blah blah blah, you know, how's it going over there? Like, you hang out with Buddha? Like, what's going on? You know. um, so yeah, so that's how I've been, like, you know, dealing with stuff this week, and it's been and I think like little kid me has kind of come out, and even more than usual, kind of helping me. I actually have a skirt on that I haven't worn since I was in college. So it's literally from like the year 2000. It's an old skirt. And it's one of those little shorty skirts, but it looks so girly and like little kitty. And I'm just like gonna be a kid, you know? Okay, so let's see. Going back. Um, Stephanie said she cries every day. Still, it is hard, but I've been doing a lot of positive things to deal with it. Also, set up a shrine for them. Oh, that's good. I just talk to them sometimes and cry when I need to. That's something else. I'm not denying myself my feelings. Like this time around with this particular passing, usually I'm like, oh, I have to be strong. I can't cry. Like, I don't want to cry in front of people because I don't want them to feel bad. But since I've been more into like honoring my feelings, I cry. I will ugly cry. I yelled to the top of my lungs some expletives when I felt like it, like, because I was like a mixture of sad, angry, happy that he died quickly and there was no suffering. Like, there was so many emotions, and I'm just like letting them out as they come. Like, if sometimes I think of something and it makes me kind of sad, like I just cried. You know, like yesterday I was like, a few tears came, and then I felt better, and I'm feeling like less emotionally constipated. Like, I'm like, oh, it feels so good to just let it out. And then, after I've whatever done my thing for however long I need to do that, afterwards I just feel really good. Like, you guys let it out. Yeah, so that's all I've been working on. Sherry Bug said Bob Marley makes her happy. A what the Bob Marley song that comes to mind is One Love. Like, anytime I think Bob Marley. Um, Cosmic Creepers, it's a lovely focus and process. Stephanie said, same here, girl, for sure. I've been the same way. I text my sister still and just talk to her even though I know she won't reply. And Jesse said, I don't cry often. I normally get angry. And I think that's fine too. Whatever emotions are coming up, just like let it out. And not everybody falls into a ball of tears. Some people, like my dad, when he's sad, my dad's first reaction is to cuss somebody out or cuss at the sky. Like, my dad will cuss a lot. Like, he will like go to the gym and work out furiously, or he'll go get in his car, drive around, and like cuss at people in traffic. Like, that's my dad. Like, and that's how he deals with things. And then you give him his time to do his thing where he's just walking around like, blah, blah, what the fuck, daddy. Um, then my dad's fine. And that's like how he deals with his emotions, and everybody's, that way. My mother, she would not want to get out of bed. She would just cry, 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 cry. And then my mom's fine. And so, yeah, I think however people have to deal with things, how you deal with it, just deal with it, but don't not deal with it. So if you have to go say the F word in some poetic way of 1,000 times of however many ways you can say fuck, then do it, but don't not deal with them, so however I that's what I've been learning, is just to get it out. However I have to get it out, just do it, but like don't hold it in. Stephanie said her stepdad's the same way. Christina says she shuts down and withdraws. Yeah, and so, like, if that's a way of how you deal with things, then do it. But I think that the worst thing people can do is decide, oh, it didn't happen, or it's that they block stuff, because for a good long time, when my dad was younger, when I was like a little kid, his way of dealing with things not only was to be angry, but then after that he would pretend like certain things didn't happen. It was like, oh no, like we don't talk about that, we don't acknowledge that, and it like made him such a miserable person to be with. And then he had finally had gotten counseling for his like emotional constipation, and so then he figured out, okay, it's okay to be angry, because he was like, I don't cry. And they're like, well, okay, you don't have to cry, but at least get it out. So when my dad found out that it was okay for him to go work furiously at the gym, or go like just drive his car around and like clear his head, like he does that now, and like he's just a lot better. um Jesse said, sometimes I feel it coming on, but it never happens. Maybe a tear, that's it, and then I get pissed. And everybody deals with it their own way. Stephanie said, me too, Christina, for like 2 weeks, and then I start getting better. Ella's here. Hey, Ella. Jesse said that's a good way to call it, emotional constipation. True. Yes. So, well, to lift everybody's spirits. So like I said, I'm just like a big kid. This is what I got at the thrift store. Those American Girl dolls, which I could never afford, and I probably still can't afford. But this is a game and it doesn't really have much. I mean, I guess you could use it if you had one of those American Girl dolls, but here's like the game, and there's cards in here. Is you like spin this thing, and whatever it lands on, like, let me see, what's it land on up here? Craft. So there's a crafting activity, but then you spin this little thingy, and it lands on a color, and so the color is like that fuchsia or red. So then you find the card that says craft and it has fuchsia or red on it. And let me pull that out. And by the way, the cards all look like this. So let me find a fuchsia or red card that has the word craft on it. And this will be something for all of us to do today, albeit probably like make the grown-up version of it, but unless you want to play with your dolls, hey, no judging. As the girl who has, well, I had like 120 Barbie dolls, and then I inherited my boyfriend's mother's Barbie collection when she passed. Oh my God, I didn't know she had so many Barbie dolls. And she was like, Miss, I don't play games. I'm an adult. That's little kid stuff. And I found out how many toys that woman had after she passed away. I was like, Joanne, you be lying to people. I know you. Okay, so let's see. Craft. Here it is. So this is our card. Christina said, I still like dolls. They were my friends when I was a kid. Dude, me too. I talk to my stuffies. Like, okay, so this is our card, people. And it says bright sunbursts. So you could take that as like bright sunbursts, like that being your keywords, just looking at this picture, like something, a message for you today. Or you can actually do the project that's on the back, which is how to make these bright sunbursts. So that was actually a message for all of us today. So for all of us today, those of you going through whatever you're going through, or maybe you're just like happy-go-lucky, or whatever is going on in your life, craft something fun today. It doesn't necessarily have to be these things, but craft something fun. So craft could also be, for my witchy folks out there, like crafting, like craft a spell, make something awesome, something fun. You could, those of you that like to bake, I used to like to make those cake pops and I would make like little like reindeer or like little like woodland animals, and they would come out like they were so goofy. But they were my special army of goofy woodland creatures. So if that's fun for you, do that. So that is your guys' mission today, is to make something fun, craft something fun. Okay, so hold on, let me look back here. Stephanie said, girl, I collect all kinds of dolls, vintage ones, and even the Monster High dolls. Oh my gosh, you're the girls that buy the Monster High dolls. I was like, Monster High's creeping up on my Barbies. Let's see, New Age Lunatic. I love those gothy vampy dolls. High School something they're called. Yeah, the Monster High dolls. Sherrybug, I'm gonna go to the pool. Not sure that is crafty, but it'll be fun. Hey! It's fun. New Age Lunatic, chocolate crispy cakes. Oh, that sounds good. I wish you lived close. You can send me all those goodies you make. Let's see, what am I doing today? Well, we're gonna be going to the Reuben H. Fleet Science Center. So we are gonna watch that IMAX movie. And then we're gonna be in Balboa Park, so I'm sure there's gonna be some like fun stuff for us to do. There's usually like some kid stuff, and like, who knows? Maybe I'll go get my face painted today, because they always have the face painters out there. So like maybe I'll get some balloons or something like that. But yeah, so just kind of want to do little positive fun stuff today. Oh, last Saturday, I gave you guys some homework. So remember, last Saturday I did something a lot different than I normally do. I did like I looked into everybody's chakras and I told people what I saw, and the images were meant to be for you guys to have you guys understand them. And I did like a little like checking, you know, your like I call it my body scanning, like a spiritual MRI, like scanning your body. So and then I told everybody to report back with your findings. Like, what did you personally think that each of those things that I saw or heard or felt in your chakras, like, what did they mean? And I know everybody was taking some notes. Christina said, I have a week off, no grandkids. I'm going to have a blast. Bottle of wine tonight. Girl, I have a big bottle of white wine in the fridge for my dude and I, as I found out that the only things that like don't set off my little ticker here is white wine. Red wine, for some reason, like I'll take a sip of red wine, I'm like I can't breathe, like my heart's like beating out of sync. I'm like, okay, no red wine, well now we know. But white wine and like beer, like Blue Moon, you know, those types of beers, absolutely fine with the ticker. So because white wine is, you know, a-okay, I have a big bottle of white in the fridge waiting for tonight. um, let's see, Stephanie, I'm making teddy bears out of fabric and other stuff. Oh my gosh, that sounds so cool. Christina, chakras are so confusing to me. I don't understand the concept. I could do a little quick run through. Sherry Boog said it was really accurate. It totally zeroed in on my strengths and weaknesses. Well, that's good. Stephanie, I love red wine. I'm not a fan of white wine. Well, I've had to become a fan of white wine, whether I liked it or not. New Age Lunatic, I did my homework minus the third eye because that was interesting that we had the same. Also, when you sent healing, some craziness has happened with sore hands. Why, I didn't mean to make your hands sore. Okay, so Christina was asking, I think it was Christina, was asking about the chakras. I think that like a Hindu religion um, attributes a certain meaning to chakras. There are like other religions that see them differently, but they don't call them chakras. They just are like, you know, your energy centers or your God centers. There are like my aunt, when she goes to yoga, she goes to a certain yoga where they're like align your chakras, but they also explain it different ways. So I think like what the basic breakdown is if, you know, if you believe that we're just made of energy, which I do, I believe that, you know, inside this like body of mine is my spirit, is my energy, and I kind of see it as like a little person with the controls like grr, 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 you know, making me move, you know. At least that's how I see it. And sometimes it's a hamster on a wheel, and sometimes the hamster falls off that wheel. But anyway, I digress. Let's see. Oh, New Age Genetics said no, you didn't make them sore. Quite the opposite. Okay, well, good. So okay. Um, maybe like okay, so like trying, okay, how I, okay, this will be my personal definition of chakras, like how I see them. Um, Jujubisa, I wasn't here, so I didn't have homework. Psh, she got out of the homework. um, I see like, okay, so let's say I'm working with my crown chakra. Maybe my crown chakra doesn't actually reside, you know, up here, whatever that is or whatever. I think that it's a certain part of my own energy, my own physical energy, that I can focus on mentally saying, okay, if crown chakra is related to my higher self or, you know, connecting with source energy, then that's what I tell myself. Like I tell myself, I want to connect with my source energy. I want to connect with my higher self, and my whole energetic body will focus its intention on that. If it's kind of hard for me to explain, and so when I say I'm looking at somebody's crown chakra, I'm I'm asking their energy to tell me, relay in symbols and messages or scenarios. Um, when that person is trying to connect to their higher self, what does that look like? You know? And so that's when I say, oh, I see like the color purple, you know? And for me, that represents your crown chakra, or when your energetic body is um, attuning its frequency to its higher self. Okay, so like let's say I'm working with my heart chakra, you know, that being energetic center. Okay, so when we think heart chakra, we think love, both giving and receiving. Okay, so then when I say, okay, I'm working with my heart chakra, maybe it's not actually coming from the actual beating heart in my chest, um, but it's telling my energetic body, the spirit in me, that, hey, okay, now we're going to be working with the frequency of love, giving and receiving. What does that look like? It looks like the color yellow right now. Okay, so when I think of yellow, um, what does that represent to me personally? Yellow to me means sunshine, happiness, strength. Okay, so maybe when it comes to giving and receiving, I don't have any problems with that right now. You know, I'm doing really well. Everything's pretty happy when I'm giving and I'm receiving. So to me, that's kind of like what chakras are. It's just, it's not, you know, like if we like opened up my body, it's like you're gonna find these glowing balls of light, you know, inside. Like I don't, I mean, some people believe that, so, you know, that if you took off your human self and you looked at your energetic body, that there would be these actual balls of light. Some people believe that. For me, I don't see it that way. I just see it as like attuning to a certain frequency. Which is what I talk about, like when I see spirits and things like that. And I talk about low vibe spirits. They're not necessarily evil or bad. They are maybe mischievous, who do things that we don't like, but they're just vibrating at a certain frequency. And so maybe they are vibing with whatever my frequency is that I'm putting out. And then I'm like, whoa, why am I attracting these like things? Like what's going on with my energy? So I might check in with my chakras. You know, might be like, okay, so when it comes to how I feel at home, my stability, which would be represented by a root chakra, I might be like, okay, how do I feel about my stability, my safety, my home? You know, and maybe certain things come up, like maybe I see like earthquakes and I'm like, oh, okay, so maybe I'm not, something about my environment makes me not feel safe. Therefore, maybe that's why my frequency is a little funky and I'm like attracting these things that are also a little funky, you know? So, like, what can I do to fix that area of my life here in the physical world? Um, so, you know, when I meditate, though, because it's helpful visually to actually visualize balls of light, um, you know, I will imagine, you know, feeling down in my like nether regions, you know, that energy spinning, you know, and then, you know, and I'll just kind of like align my chakras. But really, I don't believe that those physical lights are there. I think it's just me attuning my own frequency to whatever that is that I'm thinking about. I don't know if that makes sense. It's really hard for me to explain like what's going on in my head. Um, Juju B said, "All right, I have to start getting ready for work. I'll see y'all later." Well, Juju B, I'm so glad you got to pop in for as long as you did. Go do your adulting. So we'll catch you next time. Um, so I probably just confused Christina like so much more. I'm so sorry. um, but okay, in its simplest terms, you could just, you know, look at chakras as energy centers in the body. You know, if it just makes it easy to break it down like that. Okay, so the root chakra for me represents like home and stability. Sacral chakra to me just represents like, you know, your sexuality and things like that. And I'm really simplifying it, by the way. Solar plexus to me represents where you get your strength, you know, your power, your personal power, your confidence, your ability to stand up for yourself. Heart chakra, loving, both giving and receiving. Throat chakra, your ability to speak your truth, speak your mind, let your voice be heard. Third eye chakra would be like your intuition, and your crown would be your higher self. I also believe in like a soul star chakra, so it's like my actual like connection to source, and then an earth star, you know, my connection to earth because I'm on earth. um, and then um, and then just kind of like working in like where I feel energy in my body. Like I feel energy in the palms of my hands. So I'm like, okay, well, I must have palm chakras too. You know, I feel energy in my thighs when I'm doing energy work. Well, maybe I have chakras in there too, you know? So I think chakra is just a word for me personally, just meaning energy. Um, and so when we say these different chakras, really, we're just saying different segments of our lives, you know, if that makes sense. Stephanie said, I'll see you later. I have to go buy my laptop. Ooh, fun, fun. I'm going to start doing YouTube videos and I have to take my puppy to get his shots. Aww. You have the cutest puppy, by the way. Wally had to go in for his 2-year shot. Yeah, every 2 years he has to get his little booster shot. And he had his checkup back on the 15th of June. So, yeah, my poor little baby had to go to the vet. I understand. But hey, I look forward to when you start making YouTube videos. That's gonna be awesome. And I've been loving all those wigs, by the way. Like, I love wigs. um, Sherry Bug said my dogs are going to the vet Tuesday. You know, I'm like, I don't like going to the doctors. I know they don't like going to the doctors. um, so yeah. So Christina, I hope that makes some sense, that it's just giving a visual to a very abstract idea. I think that's how you put it. Yeah. Giving a visual to an abstract idea, which, you know, love, abstract idea. Everybody has their own definition of love. And so we put the visual to it, and the visual is like a spinning pink or green ball of light in the chest because it's where our heart is. And usually we think heart, like the beating heart is like, oh, heart, love. You know, and so when we're thinking like, oh, intuition, being able to see, well, then that must be where our eyeballs are. So hence, I think where we got the third eye idea of like, oh, well, then that must be here, you know. And so it's these abstract ideas, but we're just giving a name to it or a visual. Stephanie said, thank you. I'll let you know when I put up my first one. Yes. And she said, me too, love wigs. I wish I had more. Like I just have my 3 and I'm, oh. Sherry Bugs also gotta go. All right, see you next week. My dude's probably about 5 minutes out, so he'll probably be here very soon. But anyway, I hope you guys like understood what I was trying to say, that I wasn't trying to be too confusing. um, okay. Let's see. Well, before he comes, I wanted to do like a spread reading for all of us. And then I have to pop off. So I guess we're all having some really busy Saturdays. So let me grab my book of spreads. Oh, good Lord. And I got my little skirt on. Dude, this skirt is 18 years old. Dude. Okay, so let me get my book of spreads. Da, da, da. And I'll do a spread for us today. And then I will head out and finish maybe like eating a snack and getting ready for the IMAX theater. Okay. Okay, so I'm looking at my 365 tarot spreads. And I'm going to look at today's date. Oh, that's right. Tomorrow's July 1st. Oh, and my July reading is posted. It's scheduled for tomorrow. Oh, and I have to finish writing the newsletter. I'm almost done. I just have like one more section to add in my newsletter. So if you want to subscribe to my newsletter, head over to www.kittensweightsandtarot.com and click on newsletter. But yeah, I just have one more section to write, and then I will email my newsletter out tomorrow. Okay. June 30th. It has a full moon spread. I know we just had a full moon, but um, I think we could still do a full moon spread. It says, oh, today is National Full Moon Day. How about that? Set aside to appreciate the moon's beauty and eloquence. No other astral body creates such magic, mystery, and speculation. The summation of the spread. The moon's effect is a subtle yet vital pull on the forces of life. The moon spread takes into account the intrinsic qualities of the moon to craft its questions. Okay, seen from the moon, Earth goes through its own phases. The phases are always in reversal. There is a full Earth when it's a new moon for us, and there's a new Earth when we look up and see a full moon shining down upon us. That's an interesting way to look at things. The moon card signifies a journey or passage through the unknown, truly reflecting our changing interior state through its cycles. This skyward object, locked in Earth's gravitational pull, connects all of humanity who have gazed upon it and thought, wondered, marveled, and wished. That's lovely. Gosh, the past 2 days, all I've been hearing is cycles, cycles, moon cycles, phases, cycles. Like all the cards I pulled yesterday, I pulled 4 cards from 4 different decks. They were all like cycle cards, cycles, phases, moon cycles. I'm like, what the heck? Every YouTube video that was suggested to me yesterday was cycles, phases, like some YouTuber talking about moon phases and cycles. And I'm like I get that there's a message coming to me. I just don't understand it. I'm like, alrighty. Okay, so it's 9 cards. So if you guys have your decks near you while you're watching this, maybe you guys can pull cards for yourself. But I'm going to do a reading for all of us. So this will be like general for all of us here today, or whoever's going to watch this later. But yeah, if you guys have your cards, take them out. Okay, card number 1. What mystery does the moon reflect? Card number 2. Who looks at the moon and thinks of me? Aww. Number 3. What hidden truth does moonlight illuminate? Card number 4. Am I comfortable reflecting the light of others? Number 5. How do I affect the world with my presence? Number 6. What lies at the heart of my truth? Number 7. What cycle am I experiencing? 8. To what place am I transitioning? And 9. What wondrousness lurks in the shadows? Okay, I have all my decks here, so let's see what we can use. What deck do I want to use? Oh, you know what I want to use? My Pagan Otherworlds, because it has like actual moon phase cards in here. I think that'll be fun. Pagan Otherworlds. Okay. Ooh, temperance. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm going to pull those 9 cards. And this will be general for us. But like I said, if you have your cards on hand and you're not like in the middle of driving, which I hope you're not watching this while you're driving, but maybe just listening. Yeah. Okay. And I can hear the garage door opening, so my dude's here. Okay. Okay, quick reading, quick reading. Okay, I'm going to pull those. Whoa, 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 whoa. Calm the energy down. Card number 1. Card number 2. Card number 3. Card number 4. Number 5. Number 6. Card number 7. 8. 9. Okay. Okay. Card number 1. What mystery does the moon reflect? So, what mystery is the moon reflecting right now? Reflecting the world. So, you know, we always see the world as like completion and like things coming full circle. That literally is what's happening. It's a full moon. Hey, Charlie, what's up? So just doing a quick like spread. I'm doing the full moon spread right now. Um, and then I gotta go. Okay, so I think that the mystery that's reflected in the, or yeah, the mystery that's reflected in the moon right now is that a lot of intentions that during the new moon for us have come full circle during this full moon. For maybe not for all of us, but for a good majority of us, some things that we've really been working hard to manifest have actually like manifested, which is pretty freaking awesome. I would happen to be in that bunch, so I'm really excited about that. Number two, who looks at the moon and thinks of me? And here we have the Four of Swords. This has special meaning to me because this was the card I pulled when I was pulling cards and connecting with our old cat who passed away, and I was connecting on the anniversary of his passing on Thursday, and I said, when can I see you again? And I pulled this knowing that he meant like in my dreams that night. So who is thinking of me is my old cat um, in my dreams. So maybe for the rest of us, that would mean like who's been popping up in your guys' dreams lately, and maybe not just dismiss it as just a dream. Could be more than just a dream. Okay, number three, what hidden truth does moonlight illuminate? So what is moonlight illuminating right now? We might be wearing ourselves a little thin. Maybe jumping into situations that maybe is not really part of our fight. So maybe focus on ourselves first, what we can handle, and we can aid our friends and family, but don't fight their battles for them. So that's kind of what I think the moon is illuminating for us this cycle. Number four, am I comfortable reflecting the light of others? Ace of Swords. I think myself included, and a lot of you guys are willing to cut obstacles so that the path for others, probably possibly relating to children and grandchildren, is easier for them. So making the path easier and illuminating them. So that's awesome. Number five, how do I affect the world with my presence? Ace of Pentacles. So all about beginnings. Me, I'm very like in the physical, when it comes to taking care of my body and like things that I do. And I think that for me personally, that's kind of what I like to do. So I'm always trying to help people better themselves, not telling them how to do things, just helping them find their own way to help themselves. So yeah, and I think a lot of you guys are like that too. Just like watching you guys chat with one another, that you're all very supportive of each other and helping others to help themselves. So that's pretty freaking awesome too. 5. Okay, number 6. What lies at the heart of my truth? So my truth, all of our truth. What lies at the heart of our truth? The 7 of Pentacles. At the heart of our truth, we know that every good thing takes time. Even though we're like, no, I want things to happen now. I am impatient. I think at the heart of our truth, we know that every good thing, either going on in our personal world or the world around us, is going to take some time. Okay. 2, 4, 6. Number 7. What cycle am I experiencing? What cycle are we experiencing? What's with all the pentacles, bro? The cycle that we're experiencing right now, I think that we have been working on so much gratitude lately that we are just overflowing with giving to others, with charity. I think that's kind of evident in like my haul videos that I did, and I've did it'll air on Monday, my Goodwill haul, that I'm just like I just like keep buying all these gifts for people and making things like I've been like crafting and stuff like that I'm like just I like doing stuff for others. Anya's here. Hey, what's up? Okay, let's see. Couple more cards. So card number 8. And by the way, I'm looking at 365 tarot spreads, and we're doing the full moon spread. And I'm on the last 2 cards. Card number 8. To what place am I transitioning? So where are we transitioning? Ah. So if you guys, myself included, have had something in the works, like a little side project you've been working on, or a little vacation you've been thinking about, a little something, whatever, something you guys have been planning, um, looks like that's something we're getting ready for. And it's a big something. So I'm not talking about like, oh, I was thinking about like going to the zoo this weekend. I'm talking like plans that are a little bit bigger than that. um, yeah, I like that. Hey. All right. Number 9. Last one. What wondrousness lurks in the shadows? I like the word wondrousness. The word wondrousness that lurks in the shadows. Really? Okay. No, I get it. Okay. 8 of Swords. You're probably like, really? That's the wondrousness? The wondrousness that lurks in the shadows is that we're finally going to find our way out of some of those mental blocks that we've been experiencing. So everybody has their own little moon cycle, that at least for a couple of those blocks or even one of those blocks, we're finally going to be able to like see our way out of it. Like, oh, like why was I doing that to myself? Why would I even tell myself that? So I think that we're finally going to free ourselves from certain mental blocks. I like that. I like that. Me like you a lot. Okay. So that's it, you guys. Like I said, I really truly was honest. I could only be on very shortly today. And yeah, so the Jude is here. We're going to have a bite to eat, and then we're off to Balboa Park to go watch an awesome IMAX movie, with my free IMAX tickets that we got as part of an educator's thing. And yeah, I will catch you guys next week. It's been lovely chatting with you guys. I know a lot of people could only jump in briefly, and then a lot of people had to go to work and whatnot, and it seems like a very busy Saturday. Anya said, have fun. Thank you. Yeah, and I appreciate everyone that was able to come on today. And if you're watching this later, have a go at that spread and let me know what you got. If you were here last week for that chat, where I went through like all your chakras and everything, and you were able to do your homework, then leave a comment below on like what you got, or if it was a little too personal, email me at tara@kittensweightsandtarot.com. Christina said thank you and bye. New Age Lunatic, have a great time with the dude. I will. Cosmic Creeper, have a lovely weekend. Same to you. My love to Zuri. Wally sends his love. He's walking around back there. Anyway, I'll catch you homies later. Have an awesome, awesome, awesome sauce weekend. And don't forget, for my little game today, do something fun today. Craft something fun. If you're more witchy inclined, craft something fun. All right. So I will catch you next week. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out. Bye, guys.